So, Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. We are in this pilgrimage festival of Sukkot, this time of our harvest, this time of rain. It's an incredible celebration. One of the texts of Sukkot is the book of Ecclesiastes. And there is a lot of cynicism and pessimism in the book of Ecclesiastes and Kohelet. For example, I am Kohelet, the son of David, the king in Jerusalem. I have lived so long that some say I speak with the words of a wise old woman. The experiences of a lifetime are now set into words. The breath, all that is breath, everything comes and goes like breath. What is the benefit is there for all the labor under the sun? A generation comes, a generation goes, the earth remains, the sun rises, the sun sets, and it hurries from place from which it has risen. The wind goes to the south, and it travels to the north, and it goes in a circle. All the rivers go to the sea is not filled. That is all without end. It's so wearisome that one can hardly begin to form words. There is nothing new under the sun. And Ecclesiastes, Kohelet, waxes in criticism and cynicism and pessimism, eventually getting to a story of faith. But it's easy to hear those and just kind of feel that cynicism and pessimism and criticism in our world. It's easy to say, wait, what is so new about this world? What do we have to hope for, dream for? I have felt that very keenly in this month or in this week as we've been getting ready for Sukkot, especially watching our weather forecasts. And I feel a little Kohelet coming on. I feel a little Ecclesiastes. Because what is the point of watching a weather forecast in the state of Florida? Because they tell you there's a 50% chance of rain. That doesn't mean anything, because it means it could rain or not. We know it's Florida because it could rain over here, but not over here. It could be a 10% chance of rain, which means it's just going to pour on your house when you go outside to walk. It's Florida, and I'm building a sukkah, and starts raining on Sukkot. And you have to understand something. Sukkot is the holiday of rain. They haven't had rain in Israel since Pesach. At Pesach starts the dry season because you got to get the grain in, and it goes all the way to Sukkot, and everything in Sukkot is all about making it rain. The etrog and lulav, it's a rain stick. You go camping for a week in a sukkah with holes in the roof, daring God to make it rain. It's all about making it rain in Israel, and then here I live in Florida, where I have been sitting in a sukkah that's a swamp with bugs and humidity. I don't just schwitz from putting up the sukkah. I schwitz from sitting in the sukkah. Who needs a sukkah who needs a sauna when you have a sukkah? Here we are, and it's like I'm trying to make sense of it, and I feel a lot of Kohelet. I feel a lot of Ecclesiastes. I'm praying for rain, and I'm worried about the heat, and I'm worried about the fires and the global and the climate, and I feel all of that angst and uncertainty, and I've had enough rain, but I don't really want it to stop raining, and now there's Hurricane Sam, and it's all out there, and I don't know what to do with it. And then something interesting happened that caught my attention. The moon rose. Yes, that caught my attention. It's rather bright. I live in a very dark house, not dark on the inside, but when it's at nighttime, there aren't a lot of lights. I'm blessed to be in a very dark neighborhood, and I'm also one of those human beings that really has to sleep in a dark room. I'm very sensitive to light, and so when the moon is full, which it is on Sukkot, it really catches my attention. So there I am with all of this. I just don't know what I pray for rain, and think I'm praying for rain, but I don't really want it to rain quite yet. And we have a lot of rain here. Can we send some over there? And then the moon is rising in its cycle. That line from the blessing for light that we say in the morning, Or Chadash, Al Tzion Ta'ir, V'nizkeh kulanu mehera l'oro, shine a new light upon Zion that we may all swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of the heavenly lights. There I am in my house thinking about the rain and how is it going to rain or too much rain. I'm fixated on this as that is part of Sukkot. And the regular cycle of the moon catches my attention. And I said, oh. When Kohelet says there's nothing new under the sun, it's so easy to read it as a kvetch. It's so easy to read it with pessimism. There's nothing new under the sun. But as I sat with the uncertainty of the rain, hoping and praying for the right rain in the right season, that sense of the moon rising exactly when the rabbis predicted it was stunning to me. Our tradition, our sages are absolutely obsessed with cycles of time and space. They were incredible observers of the heaven. Our whole calendar is built on knowing the cycles of the moon and the cycles of the sun and the cycles of the seasons. Because on some level they wanted to be in sync with the world around them. But when that moon rose this week, something else clicked. Because in the midst of uncertainty about the rain, there was something beautiful and powerful about the certainty of the moon. About knowing that each month, as we go through these cycles, that on the 14th and 15th day of a month, of a Hebrew month, the full moon's going to rise. And then I'm going to see it wane. And then I'll go to a new moon. We'll start a new month, and then it'll wax and it'll come back. And I will see it going on, those cycles up and down. There is so much uncertainty in our world, and yet here the rabbis, picking up on Kohelet, what did Kohelet say? There is nothing new under the sun? Maybe instead of a criticism or cynicism or pessimism, maybe there's something of blessing in that. How powerful it is to have things that are predictable, that flow in a rhythm and time, so that when we can feel that rhythm and time, so when everything else is uncertain around us, we can find that rhythm to clap to or walk to or observe in our world to give us a little bit of stability, to give us a little bit of certainty. That is something incredible and powerful. In addition to that, finding just that certainty in the midst of such uncertainty, there's also something beautiful. As I woke up, as I saw that beautiful full moon, and I said, wait, Sukkot has come. How incredible that the rabbis predict this, and it has that regular flow. In that moment of celebration and being able to delight in experiences that happen on schedule, how much it gives me strength or wisdom or insights or lifts my spirit so that I'm ready when I have that moment where it is raining. When they say it's a 20% chance of rain and then it starts pouring, it gives me something to lift my spirits that I have that I, even if I'm celebrating the certainty, how much more I'm able when I have that something that is spontaneous and wonderful and joyful that no one could ever predict or never, ever expect. That is part of this celebration of Sukkot. It's part of the reading of Kohelet, of Ecclesiastes, telling us, reminding us, tune into the circles and cycles of life, but also delight in those in uncertain events that offer us life and offer us blessing. As this Sukkot comes forward, we're getting close to the end. Tomorrow morning, we'll have a chance to offer Hallel. Next week on Wednesday, we hope you'll join us for Simchat Torah. We ask you, as these holidays come to an end and we head into this time of Mar Cheshvan, keep looking to us and finding us. Keep gathering with us in those moments where we regularly come together. Every Shabbat is part of that rhythm, but also find us in those special moments when we have those Bereka Havdalahs where we'll gather together and make Berekas, or you go to that baseball game with the men's club, and then you're sitting there and enjoying your chicken sandwich and ready for the game, and then they tell you the game got rained out, even though it wasn't supposed to rain that night, but you still got to spend a half hour sitting with your friends, enjoying a sandwich and talking about baseball. There are incredible things that are happening in our world, incredible things as a community. Let us find all of them. Let us delight in all of them. Let us enjoy all of them as we have enjoyed this time, Zman Simchatenu, this time of our joy, this holiday of bounty. As I say, Amen.